Okay. I'm just trying something different here. I'm laying in my room. It's in the basement. The room's completely black except for the faint glow of my phone. I'm using it as a recorder. Oddly enough, it's sitting on my head. But that's not the point. Anyway. The idea is to just talk to you people. Try to set some rationalization, maybe share a story or two, maybe a laugh. And maybe this mellowed out environment, will mellow you out, help you relax, I don't know. But we'll find out. I guess I'll start with posing a question or two, or maybe I'll tell a story, warm things up. You know, in all honesty, I don't remember many pleasant moments with the family growing up. There was a lot of trauma. Mental trauma, not physical. I wasn't beaten or anything, but the people that know about it know about it. And those that don't, won't. So, we'll just leave that at that, but I guess, maybe everybody wants to know why I'm so crazy about these fucking zombies. What is the big deal with Jason and the zombies? Well, I guess it all started when I was, I was young, somewhere between 5 and 6, 5 and 7, something like a young kid. And, I went down to my cousin Thomas's house. Love him to death. He's getting married this year. Excited. Anyway, me and him were down in the basement, basically just bugging DJ, and I think it was Rocky. It was either Rocky or Chris. Anyway, they were playing games, and one of those games was Resident Evil. Yeah, no, it probably wasn't that scary, and it's all pixels, and it wasn't the sights so much as the noise, the sound of them, that, just lonely call in the night of agony and, emptiness, it hollow. It struck something in me, and I was terrified. And, well, you see what they look like anyway. Yeah, if it was Resident Evil, I was a little kid. And that game just fucking traumatized me for the rest of my days. And, no one was trying to scare me with it, nothing like that, you know. I was just there, having a good time. Maybe it was because I'd never seen or heard of anything like that. We weren't rich growing up. I don't know if Dad was hauling cattle at that time or not. Anyway, he's a semi-driver, a truck driver. It's a very important job. It keeps America running, but anyway, I ramble. Those of you that know this know it all too well. Anyway, yeah, I was absolutely, I couldn't even think or talk about them. Or, like, stand to see a movie with them. Until I was like, well, let me just... When the 360 came out, the Xbox 360, the first game Mom got me for it was Dead Rising. Of all games. Now, I could watch zombie movies, but I had to be with somebody. And she got me this fucking game with nothing but walking corpses. That, I played by myself in my room. It took me over 7 hours to even work up the courage to play it. And another 30 minutes to hit start from the menu. Like, I used to be that rattled by these things. And, wow. I could only play it for an hour, I think, at first. I had fun, and I guess from there, I just got used to it. Gradually. To this day, if somebody comes up to me and they even fake a zombie moan, it freaks me out. I almost hit one of my best friends, Bo, in the face over that. That's another story, maybe another time, but yeah. That's how it all started. It carried from there. So I guess now you know. I guess I sort of manipulated this phobia into a strength. I embraced it. I faced the fear and I conquered it. And it's benefited me in a few ways. Do I really think zombies are going to pollute the country and it's going to be an apocalyptic scenario? No, most likely not. But it helps you prepare for anything that can happen. Hurricane, any natural disaster, political disasters. Whew. Who knows what can happen? Anyway, it's a fun way to just be ready for things. I guess that explains the zombie thing. I'm here laying in bed and just staring at the ceiling. I guess I'll explain my room. Yeah. You see, ladies and gents, I'm a grandma's boy. I live with my granny, my mama, and Stephanie. Stephanie's my cousin. She has Down syndrome. She's a very sweet girl. Mama and Granny were the only ones that were willing to take care of her after some family trauma, and again, that's none of your business. And I don't mean that insultingly. I'm just saying you don't want to know. You don't really care, and, well, I'm just not going to tell you. Anyway, all three of them, and I live in the basement. Now, the basement is full-sized. There's a wooden stairwell that goes down. It has no underside. It's hollow behind it and open. I can get in and act freely, and actually it's where my bed is now. Some of you have seen it. The wall that the stairwell is against is wooden paneled, but the basement itself is entirely composed of concrete block. I don't know if it's reinforced. I doubt it. But anyway, the basement sits over, I'm going to say 12 or 13 feet underground, and it stays cold. There's no heat exhaust down here. I could cut a hole in the vents because I can see all the networking, but I don't want to run the power bill up. The ceiling is insulation. Most of it is covered with foil. It's like some kind of insulating foil. You're supposed to, yeah. Anyway, you get the idea. Sorry, I had to move the phone there. I have one rug with floor cement. I have a small desk that my TV sits on, along with my laptop. It's usually covered in garbage, but I try to keep it cleaned up. It's where I do my graphic design work. The desk is probably, I don't know, 5.5, 6 feet long. And, yeah, that's basically where I spend my time these days. You see, the graphic design world's hard to get into. There's over 400 million other artists out there who are trying to make a buck doing what they love to do, and, well, I'm just another one of those. Anyway, next to that is my dresser. It's fairly cheaply made. It's white. It's wood. I think it's chipboard with some kind of, look-alike wood finish on it. Anyway, it's broken, actually. There's a Christmas tree, one of those small 3-foot trees sitting on it, because I'm just too lazy to put it up. And, yeah, the spiders will get to it again if I do. Don't ask. Anyway, my bed sits directly across from my desk, and I'm looking over into the darkness at nothing to look at it. Next to that is a broken recliner next to the desk. On the left-hand side, the dresser's on the right. The recliner is against the corner, so it meets 2 walls, and then my desk is pressed up against it. That's to keep it from falling apart, basically. It flops out and hangs wide unless I have it compressed. It's like a little reading nook. It's actually a neat little place to just relax. I need to sit there a lot more often. On the same wall as my desk, the drawer and the chair, about 30 feet down the way, it's a full-size home, basement, you understand. There's the water heater, and next to that is a hole. Yes, a hole in the floor, but it's designed to be there. It collects the runoff from the washing machine. So every time we do clothes, I get to hear all that pour into a hole about 40 feet from where I'm sitting, I guess. Yeah, give or take. I had to move my room to the one side closest to the door that leads out of the basement because the other half will flood. The cinder blocks have aged enough that they start to leak when there's heavy rains and snow melt, actually. It's the most recent problem. It was interesting to spend my first few weeks here and find that there was water on the floor. Yeah. Anyway, there's that. If I want to look outside from this basement, I have 2 windows. One of them's boarded up. And, they're those small rectangular windows. You know, you've seen them, I'm sure. Anyway, you don't really have much of a view from there, and it's aged, fogged, mildewed, condensed, to where the vision's distorted anyway. So I don't bother. Plus, it's on the other side of the basement. So I guess, really, in the entire basement I live in about, 20% of it. There's a room that's closed off entirely from everything else in here, and I don't live in there because, well, it's just creepy, and I don't understand it quite yet. This was a group home before my granny and them moved in. And there's this door to this room down here that has crayon writing on it. Crayon doodling, not writing. It's black crayon. It leads me to believe mentally handicapped man or woman may have done it. You can see... Well, I say that because it was a home for the mentally disabled. This place was. Interestingly enough, there's some places, and on the exit out of the basement, in fact, there's some places where you could see there was locks installed on the inside and outside of the entrance door, but only on the outside of this door down here that goes into the room. If you walk into the room, it's all wood paneled except for one wall. There's a light in the very center with a string to, turn it on. It's actually a shoelace, I believe. I haven't been in there in a few months. There's a few things in there left over. I think an old fax machine. I could be wrong. I need to go in there tomorrow, maybe. Anyway, the one wall in that room that's not... oh, I'm sorry, there's two walls. I'm rambling. I'm new to this recording thing, so just bear with me. The two walls that are cinder blocks. One of them is freshly painted. And that leaves me to question its motives, because the other is left entirely untouched. It just seems suspicious. Now, I'm not saying anything could have happened, but anything could have happened. It's just a little spooky, so I don't live in there. I live out here. And there are spiders all year round. I've lived here just over a year. I will see one at least every 3 days. And typically they come down right in front of me. A black widow did that once. I sat down on the bed and looked to my left just in time to see it just coming on down from the ceiling, trying to get on my bed. I dispatched it fairly quickly upon seeing that. I've had hornets down here. I think that was a hornet. It wasn't a bee. It was black and yellow, though. I guess it could have been a yellow jacket, but, I don't study insects, but it was not a bee. That's all I know. I've killed 2 of those in the last 3 or 4 months, I guess. Yeah. It's cold down here. The other side of the basement that I don't live in, I can see at all times, is very reminiscent of like a scene from Fight Club. Dingy, mildewed, rustaceous, rusted, paint peeling, decayed. It's not a friendly, domicile by any means. But, I don't know if this recording's carrying on too long or not. Anyway, I'd love to give you a life lesson, but I don't know if the recording's too long or not. I think I'll just stop this one. If you want to hear more of this pointless rambling, and there will be times where there are points to be made and advice to be given, just let me know. I'd love to keep doing this. It's actually quite therapeutic. I'm pretty relaxed right now, and that's a very difficult thing for me to accomplish. I guess it's the fact I haven't held a real conversation. A real conversation now. I've talked with friends, but not of serious things. A real conversation in a long time, so why not do it with myself? Technically speaking. Anyway, I'll let you go, and I hope this relaxed you or just gave you some insight into what I live in. You know, yeah, it's one step at a time. Take it as you will. Call me weird if you want. It's just something. I don't know. But, yeah.